Hey guys, it's Dan here with the Eastern Bigfoot Research Organization. I apologize, it's been a while since I made a video for YouTube, but I haven't had a ton of action here in my local research area. I did get a chance the last time I was out to hear some really crazy vocalizations when I camped at Bass River State Forest for the last time. It was around 3 a.m. I was just having trouble sleeping and was laying awake listening to the owls around the forest at night. And all of a sudden, I heard the loudest vocalizations. Sounded to me like it was 5 or 6 people trying to do their worst impressions of an owl vocalization. Just all at once, really loud, and really got the hair standing up on the back of my neck. I'm not saying for sure it was Bigfoot, but it was pretty empty in the campground, and I hadn't heard a peep out of anyone else all night. Anyway, I'm not here to talk about the usual areas that I go out researching in. I'm making this video to document my trip to Monongahela National Forest, more specifically the Seneca Rocks, West Virginia area of Monongahela, which is located in the Allegheny Mountains of eastern West Virginia. It's about 1.7 million acres and covers 10 counties, so it's a huge area. I decided to head out to this area kind of last minute. I had to go by myself. A couple people canceled on me last minute, and I wasn't going to let that ruin my trip, so I just went. My original plan was to backcountry camp there, but I always like to make sure I'm familiar with the rules and regulations for backcountry camping in an area before I just put a tent up out in the middle of the national forest and think everything's cool. You can get in trouble in some areas. I know here in my home state, you're actually not allowed to camp in state forests. I think national forest is a different story, but I wasn't sure, so being that I was going by myself, I just played it safe and got a campsite at the Indian Village campground in Seneca Rocks. It turned out to be a really good trip in terms of scouting an area for Bigfoot research. I already knew it was a really little known hotspot in the eastern portion of the U.S. compared to say like Salt Fork State Park in eastern Ohio. It's pretty well known for its Bigfoot activity, but there's also a ton of amateur researchers that go there trying to interact with these creatures and find them, which I would think would put them on edge and make them a lot more leery of people. Also, I'm sure it would make it pretty difficult to distinguish actual Sasquatch vocalizations from other researchers in the area trying to elicit a response from the creatures by doing their best impersonations of a Sasquatch vocalization. So this area in West Virginia that I went to, I would think would be perfect habitat for these animals. It's got abundant wildlife, freshwater sources, spring water creeks just flowing right off the mountain down into the river. Difficult to access terrain features, tons of wild edibles. I believe 75 different species of trees, giving them excellent cover to conceal themselves. Hundreds of miles of forested mountainous terrain. I was there. I got a chance to talk to a couple of local hunters. They're really cool guys. They told me that they'd seen mountain lions in the area with their own eyes, and the DNR says that mountain lions aren't supposed to be in that part of West Virginia, so no surprise there. We know how they are with animals that they say aren't supposed to be someplace. I was tempted to ask them if they'd ever had a Bigfoot sighting themselves or knew of anybody else who had. I opted not to ask because people's attitudes can really change when you tell them that you're interested in Bigfoot, and especially if you're from out of town and they're to research Bigfoot. But there's a ton of black bears there, they said. They're almost as common as the white-tailed deer in the area. There's coyote, just your typical North American wildlife, which is no surprise due to the remoteness of the area. In fact, there's actually no cell phone service in the Potomac River Valley for about 40 miles in each direction of Seneca Rocks, which is like right smack in the middle of the river valley. There's only one or two main roads in or out of that area, US 33 and Route 55. There's been a lot of road crossing sightings on both of those roads. Just a really, really remote area. Incredible terrain features. A lot of really steep to vertical mountainsides in a lot of places. Terrain way too steep and heavily wooded for people to access easily, but I believe that the Bigfoot creatures would be right at home, going up and down these valleys and everything. It's just more of a scouting expedition than a Bigfoot research trip. Since it was my first time to the area, I did get some decent trail time though. Gave me an opportunity to really learn a lot about the area and the terrain, and figure out some places to at least start looking for these creatures. I like to pinpoint areas of sightings, and in the time of year that I'm going to be there, and try to just start from there. But most of the sightings seem to center around the Seneca Rocks area, and so that's going to be my out-of-state research area for the time being. There's been 26 Bigfoot sightings just listed on the BFRO website alone. Who knows how many other people in the area have seen them and just didn't bother to make a report for fear of ridicule. It was a really great time there. West Virginia is one of the most beautiful areas I've ever been to. I wouldn't even mind living there. It's so nice. Just natural beauty everywhere, and it's just a great place to be, and I think it'll yield some really good research, and it's got a lot of potential. Hoping to get back down there in the next few weeks, so look for another video when I do that. Also, I'm planning a trip down to Arkansas to visit my father, and if time permits, I'm going to try to head down to Fouke, Arkansas, or over a little west of there to Honobia, Oklahoma, another place I've been really dying to get to. Keep an eye out for more YouTube videos when I get to take these trips. And now that the warm weather's here, I think I'm really going to be able to get out there and do a lot more field research. Take care.